Happy New Year and welcome to our reflection for Epiphany. Who would ever have believed back in March last year when David and I conceived of Faith in Lockdown, which was going to be a few reflections for a few weeks until we got back to normal. Just how little did we all know at that time? Probably a good job we didn't know what we know now. If you watch the St James's COVID Nativity and Carols, you will know that the Vicar, that's me, is a great fan of Dad's Army, and much of which Croft and Perry wrote. By the way, if you haven't seen COVID Nativity and Carols, you can watch it on the St James Church Forton webpage under News and December, and it's the not-to-be-missed Christmas show of 2020. As well as watching things like Dad's Army, I'm also a fan of many of the things that Roy Clark wrote, like Last of the Summer Wine, Open All Hours, and Still Open All Hours.
Hey, just a minute, you haven't paid for the Braddock's Bulldog, oh, forget it, you can keep it. It's been a funny day. I wonder what our Granville's planning for supper. I bet it's not tandoori chicken. Street's quiet. I like this area. Well, you do when you know just about every brick and black suspender in it. I must say I'm looking forward to the game with Nurse Gladys tonight. I get the premonition that the cards will be played very close to the chest. We all know whose chest, don't we?
It's been a funny sort of day. I suspect we could all say that about many days, but no more so than the last 290 days since the Prime Minister announced the first lockdown in March. Life has become hard, and I don't know many people who've not had enough of all these restrictions and pressures this pandemic is putting on our daily lives. But I do know far too many for whom it's taken away their job or affected their mental health, and a few for whom it's taken loved ones and destroyed their hopes for the future. This is a dreadful disease, and it can destroy lives. And if what we hear is true, then it's getting more virulent, and we need to take greater precautions. We have a responsibility to keep ourselves and others safe. But whatever we feel, whatever we dream, whatever we wish for, where we are is where we are. And we just have to get on and live in the world that God gives us now, and not the one that we might like to live in the future or have lived in the past. I locked down my office again on Tuesday night, and it was rather surreal locking it down on 12th night. It seemed to me that you could make an allegory with either the seasonal reflection, the taking down of decorations, the ending of festivities, or with 12th night, Shakespeare's play, in which of course the main characters get shipwrecked. It does feel a bit like a shipwreck. This week we celebrated the feast of the Epiphany, when the wise men arrive having followed the star to worship the Christ child and to deliver their presents. Many years ago I was in Puerto Pollensa in Mallorca for the feast of the Epiphany, and there the three wise men ride round the streets on camels distributing presents. It was a spectacle I shall never forget. Epiphany is a Greek word meaning manifestation, which, as well as being used in the context to reflect the revealing of Jesus to the kings, the same word is also used to describe that moment each day when the darkness of the night starts to turn into the light of the day. During this next 7 weeks of lockdown, or maybe more. The days will become lighter. Let us pray that we will be able to look back on today as the point at which we began to travel into the light of a post-COVID world. Let me leave you with a thought for 2021. We should not be a people of fear of the present, but a people who have courage for the future. We should not just be concerned with our own safety, but also the safety of all those around us. We should not just do things because they are good for us and for our family, but we should do them because they are good for all people. We are people of God who are giving and loving wherever we are, whatever it costs, and for as long as it takes. At our brightest and best, we are sons and daughters of the morning, of the Epiphany. Thank you for listening. God bless and stay safe.